myself, Aldo, Alred, and Ben from Alred TV, the first stream of 2026. I wish it would have been a better stream after the shit show yesterday against Leeds United, which we're going to discuss in detail tonight, as long with a couple of other topics which I've got lined up. But before I crack on with that, Happy New Year to my friend from Norway, Alred.
Happy New Year, Craig. You
And Happy New Year to you, Ben. I hope you're well, mate.
It was a Happy New Year till Liverpool played.
I totally agree. Yeah, it was absolutely a bore fest. I'm looking at the stuff what's on social media. It doesn't make good reading. And obviously Sky and TalkSport have had their two pennant as well. So before we get stuck into the Leeds United debacle, first thing I want to cover is Liverpool made the decision to sack the set-piece coach, Aaron Briggs, who wasn't originally a set-piece coach. He was a conditioning coach brought in by Arne Slot when he signed as coach or manager in, last year. So he's been with us, 18 months, and he's got 18 months of his contract left. But because of the stats, which made horrific reading for Liverpool in the goals they were conceding and the rate they were conceding, Liverpool decided to pull the plug, and he left with immediate effect. Now, apparently, from what I've been reading, that all set pieces are now going to be planned by Arne Slot and Giovanni Van Bronckhorst and the rest of the coaching staff. So, and apparently, the training session we had before the Leeds United game, they took 40 corners and they didn't concede a one. That's great, isn't it? I mean, you're only training. I mean, taking 40 corners and not conceding doesn't mean you're going to do everything right on a match day. So I'll open with you, Ben, first. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm more concerned we took 40 corners and didn't score one in training.
What a great way to start the night. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. How one of them was taking the corners?
Me, apparently. It was the right decision, though, to sack him because, and whoever it was leading the role wasn't doing the job properly. And if you don't do your job properly, you've got to get sacked. It's rule of thumb.
Mm.
But when you say that the role was distributed between all the staff left in the club, I think that's just more of a thing to absolve any single individual from blame, more than giving multiple people a job. Just to absolve an individual from blame. And then if someone comes out as a strength and does well in the role, they'll take it from now until the summer.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Alred? What's your thoughts on it?
Well, here's the thing. I didn't know they had a set-piece coach. I knew they wanted to appoint one, but he got stuck in customs somewhere and didn't get a work permit or whatever it was. But the point is, you put a guy to do a job he's not qualified to do, right? And you expect him to do the job. Well, he can't do the job, and then you end up with sacking him. I don't have that big a problem with that, but then you give the same job to 3 other players who's not qualified for the job. Yeah. You're giving, instead of having one who's not competent at the job, you give it to 4 others who don't have that as their main what shall I say, education or experience or whatever it is. It is the reason we have a head coach and a set piece coach, and not one who does everything. So for me, this is circus. I think it's stupid.
I mean, out of the top 5 leagues in Europe, Liverpool have conceded more non-set pieces situations than any other team. There's only Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth conceded more.
But I agree that the solution we had didn't work. But you can't replace a broken part with another broken part. I
No.
mean, they can probably do a better job because they are coaches, but if they, then you shouldn't have appointed him in the first place because he wasn't qualified.
Well, if you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig, isn't it?
Exactly. He's still a fitness coach. He was supposed to work between the recruitment for the first team from the
Youth Academy.
21. Sorry?
Youth Academy.
Yeah, the youth academy. That's the correct word.
He kind of took up the role of Vito Mateos, didn't he? Who was under Klopp, like as a recruitment coach.
So he had qualifications for a different kind of job, and I mean, it's
It's. I mean, it is poor. I mean, when you look at how I'm not happy with how we're playing as well, because it's absolutely boring. I mean, I put something on social media yesterday, and I've got pelted for it. One of the guys from Anfield, the Anfield Raps, come back at me. Big Mo, you've probably seen him. Big Mo's come back at me, and I said last night that in a season, Arne Slot has destroyed what Jurgen Klopp built in a year. That's what he's done for me.
it's not even a year.
Systematically, in a season, he's destroyed what Jurgen Klopp took 9 years to build. But it's uncomfortable. You squirming. I was squirming in my seat, and I'm just not happy. And the thing is, as well, it's like we discussed the last time we streamed before Christmas. That atmosphere yesterday, Jesus Christ! I tell you what, them Leeds fans weren't wrong with it, and there's only 3,000 of them.
But my point is that if we have been shit at set pieces all year, so that has to change. But as you say, we are slow. We're easy to read. You don't have to break a sweat to defend against us in open play. And in the Leeds game, when I saw the lineup and I saw that we were going to play 4-3-3 again, I got frustrated because that has proved so far this season not to work. The only thing that's worked for us in some sense is the diamond in the middle and two guys up front. And then suddenly he changes that and goes back to the same shit show we've had for 12 games before we kind of got a couple of wins. I mean, I don't know what to say anymore. I think and when the substitution comes on, I mean, okay, he puts on all the offensive players because he has to try something. But that's the problem. It looks like he's trying. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I said that in a group chat after the game. We've all seen how good Kirkers and Wirtz have been linking up in recent weeks. He starts Wirtz, not Kirk, with no Kirkers. Then when he subs Kirkers on, he subs Wirtz off at the same time. He's literally hampering the one good connection we've got in the team.
Yeah.
And Wirtz have been best when he's been in a attacking midfielder behind two forwards. And again, when we see now, there was a situation that was brought up somewhere. I don't know what it is. It's like in the last minute, who's dribbling the ball on the right wing? Well, that's fucking Hugo Ekitike, who should be the only target man in the front of the goal. I mean, he shouldn't be giving him the crosses. Now, albeit he couldn't head a ball if his life depended on it in that game, because the clearance he had when he was alone in front of goal is outstanding, in my opinion.
It's not entirely his fault. The cross was literally cannonballed at him.
Yeah, but
it was more of a shot from Pong than a cross.
Still, I think. But the point is, it looks like they not know what to do, and when they get the ball, they go where the spaces are, and instead of, we have one guy who's almost 6'4" or whatever it is. He should be in front of goal. He shouldn't be on the corner flag.
No. So before we really get stuck into this Leeds United game, like, subscribe to our TV. If you've not seen us before, then you're welcome on board. Let's broaden this community. Let's basically break YouTube if we can. And if you've any questions to Errol and Ben, get them in, because I'm sure the guys will answer your questions willingly and give you the answers that you want. And so, moving on to the Leeds United game, when I saw the lineup, I thought, yeah, I'm quite happy with that, considering the injuries we've got and the amount of games we've been playing. I thought that was the strongest lineup he could have gone with. But then when I looked at how Leeds United set up with a back five, and then basically it was like, perk the buzz, and if we can come away with a point, we will do, because Leeds United didn't offer anything. But looking at Liverpool, every time we got past the halfway line, instead of trying to get to the edge of their 18-yard box, we turned around and passed the ball back to Alisson. And this is becoming a common theme in every game we play. We're not dictating how the game's going to be played. We're saying, oh well, let's not concede, let's not get beat. It's unacceptable for me. Yeah, I know he lost 9 out of 12, and people were shouting for his head and should he go. But the football we're playing, it's a million miles away from what we were playing last season and the season before that. And to be honest with you, I don't see how it's going to improve in any way, shape, or form quickly, because even Virgil van Dijk's come out and said today the fans have every right to feel the way they feel after the game last night. Well, I'm sorry, Virgil, you shouldn't be apologising to the fans. If anything, the fans should be apologising to you, because it's up to the fans to get you wanted to play, because it's up to us to make a noise. Because let me put it another way: if that game was at Ellen Road last night, it wouldn't have been as quiet as Anfield. It would have been absolutely raucous.
There was a reason Leeds came back from a 2-0 deficit, because they were at Ellen Road.
You know, I mean, they weren't wrong. The Leeds fans weren't wrong. Where's your famous atmosphere? And this is a library, and it is. And I've called it out on social media again today. It is. And now, whether the bigger fan channels than us, whether they'll call this out or not, I don't know. If they won't call it out, I think the reason they won't, and I might get shot down for this, I think the reason they won't call it out is because they don't want to lose access to what they've got at the club in interviewing players, etc., or going to the AXA for press interviews. I think that's why they won't come out and call the atmosphere at Liverpool. But it needs addressing, because it's shite, and it's been shite for decades. But the performance last night, I'm sorry, have we dropped 4 points to Leeds United? I don't get it. I mean, I just don't get it. I can't believe that we've dropped 4 points to that team, and I've nothing against Leeds, but that was easy last night for Daniel Farke. And 8 weeks ago he was under pressure of getting sacked, and now his job's safe. He's not going anywhere. But I mean, you can come in on this. I wasn't happy with the performance at all. I thought the midfield was shocking. I'm not going to dig out a TK out, but my point here is there was no press. And the most creative player we had was Florian Wirtz, and then he takes him off and puts Federico Chiesa in a position where he's unhappy. I just don't get any sort of substitutions at the minute, and he's leaving it too long.
I think the biggest problem, in my opinion, was that we went back to the 4-3-3. The guys have, I think they've been, they felt more comfortable, more safe, more at home in a 4-2 diamond kind of thing. They've kind of seen the results. They've kind of seen some sort of stability in the team. So I think that kind of ruined it, because they have no good experiences in the 4-3-3 this season. I also had no issues with the team when it came to what he has available. So it's not that as well. But it looks like looks like they've kind of given up. If it doesn't work in 5 minutes, then it's this game again. It's the same as last time. I don't know if that is a way of saying he's lost the dressing room or what it is. I don't know, but there is something about them that that doesn't look right. And again, when Calvert-Lewin came on, they started to press us a little bit. And what happens then? We get scared and they score a goal, albeit it was an offside.
Yeah.
But they press the moment a team starts pressing us, stand a little bit higher, we panic, and then we're back to passing to Allison. Just before I give it to Ben, I want to comment the last thing about the atmosphere. And I am a foreigner, I am a tourist, and I'm hated for it in Liverpool. But I have a different view of things than you do, who live there and are born and raised. And we had a stream about this, Craig and Ben.
We did.
And I've said it then, and I hope anybody quotes me on this one, and I can look into the camera. It's your fucking job to support and cheer the team on, not the other way around.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
If you're on the Kop or the yellow wall or where the fuck you are, if you are the home fans, and I'm not talking about the sides, it's your fucking job. And then you can blame on the performance. When you don't give yourself a good performance on the pitch, or on the stands, then you can't complain about the team.
No, I totally agree 100%. Because my days of going to Liverpool are over now. But for those who go through the turnstiles, for me, you want to hang your heads in fucking shame, because you're a disgrace to that badge and you're a disgrace to the club you're supporting, because you're not doing your job. You're not. When 3,000 people come down the M62 from Yorkshire and make more noise than you do, something's wrong somewhere. Now, apparently, this is, I didn't know this, but apparently one of my good friends who came over at Christmas, Ben, who's a Man United fan, and his name's Ben, by the way, right? Apparently, there's a survey been done, and the best away support in the Premier League is Man United. Apparently, I've not seen the survey, but that's what he told me. But anyhow, Ben, over to you, and you can add your 2 pence, because I'm interested in what you've got to say.
Well, I mean, you saw my reaction after the game in the chat. I was not very happy. Right, but the thing that annoys me most is that Leeds weren't even focused on this game. And you could tell Calvert-Lewin rested, Tanaka rested. So many of the better players didn't start. They were focused on the Man United game on Sunday.
Yeah.
And they still came to Anfield and had a comfortable defensive performance. I don't care how many injuries we've got. We should be able to dispatch a Leeds team, any Leeds team, at Anfield. And especially one that's rotating most of its best players. And even worse is when those players actually came on, we started to look like the away team, because we sat off them, looked scared. Like you say, the 2000, they treated it like a home game. It might as well have been Ellen Road, because I only heard the chants.
Yeah, and what you've just said there was somebody put a tweet on X this afternoon. She's a Leeds United fan. She was at Anfield, and she put a picture up of Anfield, and she went, "I was so disappointed last night at the game, but I have to say it, Anfield is a myth. It's not a legendary ground; it's a myth. The atmosphere wouldn't have been like that at Leeds," and she's right. She's right, and I thought, well, you're not going to get no complaints from me, and who've we got tomorrow? Is it Fulham we've got on Sunday?
Yeah, Fulham away. And then
Fulham away. I was confident, but no, I'm not. They're sucking the life out of me. I mean, where does we're after that Leeds game. I mean, where do we go from? Where do we go from here? Surely we've got to go back to the system they were, like Harold said before. They've got to go back to the system they were comfortable with, where we look compact and we look like a football team. Where now we don't look like we know what we're doing anymore. I'm seriously starting to question Arnie Slot. I just think he's out of ideas now.
And that's the problem, because when he then went back to this 4-3-3 formation that hasn't worked, there hasn't been really any big changes in place of available, etc., compared to the last game. You know, there hasn't been 5 players back suddenly. So that's the biggest problem I have. His tactical dispositions or his preparation for the games. I don't see it anymore. I think I don't know what it is. He makes strange substitutions. Okay, he said Wirtz was feeling something, so we had to take him off. Okay, fine, but again, you change the setup, you change this, you change that, and now he's given Chiesa 1 game in 1.5 years, so he's done. Even though he didn't play a great game last time, but I can't see the plan. I can't see what we're trying to do. Even on the club, when we had a really hard periods, even when we had everybody injured and played Williams and Phillips in the defense, we saw what we still were trying to do. We couldn't do it because we were shit, but you could see what we were trying to do. Now we just, I don't know, okay. And that's why I criticized Hugo Ekitike being on the corner flag trying to cross the ball in. Nobody knows what to do.
There's no structure.
No plan.
Even in the first years under Klopp, like, yeah, it was peak because we were genuinely terrible and had so many bad results. But you knew that 1, maybe 2 good signings, Alisson, Van Dijk, and this project bangs. Whereas this signing was this project under Slot. I think it's stagnated. It's not going anywhere.
Like you said, Ben, I remember when Klopp came in, the team was shit, and we had to score 5 goals to have a chance of winning. But from the first game he came in the middle of the season, no preseason, no nothing, not anything, you could see what he was trying to do. You could see the players, okay, they're trying this. We're trying to build up this way. We're trying to attack this way. We're trying this. You could see a way of trying to play football, but not having the quality to do it. Now we have a lot of quality, and nobody's going, well, I don't know.
Even under Klopp, the signings made sense. Like, we signed Mane, a demon athlete with good pressing ability and also a great player overall. For me, like Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson. We didn't just sign players we felt like we wanted. Like, I know it's harsh to criticize him whilst he's injured and he's still a great player, but Isaac, I still think we only signed him because it was a power play.
Well, did we? The question's got to be asked. We're signing Ekitike. Did Liverpool really need to go out and sign Alexander Isak? No.
I did say over the summer when people were celebrating the get Isak wanting to leave, I said any pursuit of Isak should be abandoned and we should go all out for someone like Bradley Barcola, because systematically he makes 10 times more sense than Isak ever could have.
Well,
we needed to sign 2 strikers. That we needed.
If we wanted to sign 2 strikers, then either let Ekitike go to Newcastle, because then that means Isak will come. Because, I mean, Newcastle were very firm in the stance that if they get an elite level replacement, which Ekitike would have been, they would have let Isak go.
But I'm talking about.
But then we go and get Isak, a cheaper player. Maybe we go and get Visser or something from Brentford. Or
that's okay, but I feel that we needed 2 players as a striker.
Yeah, we needed.
We can argue about who and why and how and all that, but we needed 2 strikers because we lost so much offensive power.
We needed at least 2 or 3. Because
yeah.
Diaz and Nunes, they went their separate ways. Jota, may he rest in peace, died. We can't do anything about that. Yeah.
No, exactly. So we needed at least two players. So. Can we disagree about who and why
Well,
and how and why?
it's quite strange that the player that Ben's just mentioned there, Mr. Barcola from PSG, in the last week or so, his name's come out again now that Liverpool have started talks with him, and apparently he's told his agent he'll only come to Liverpool on the guarantee that he's a regular starter. He's not a squad player.
Oh, that's. I think we can. Anyone, I could tell him that.
That's I mean, you've probably read the same thing as me online, but there's no smoke without fire, as they say.
Fabrice
When it
Harkins
comes to
is.
transfer, I think it's very much fire without us, very much smoke without little fire.
Well, you know, I mean, don't shoot the messenger.
One thing about Barcola is one of the top journalists in France seems to be very adamant about Liverpool having concrete talks with
Yeah.
the players' agency and PSG.
Mm.
Fabrice Harkins. Every time I hear his name, he's talking about Barcola and Liverpool in the same sentence, and that's France, arguably the Ornstein of France.
Mm.
I hope we sign more Dutch players.
Yeah, well,
I agree on the pretense that it's Javiro Reed, only him.
Oh dear. Well, I was hoping you wasn't going to go down that path, Harold, but you know what Ben's like with the Dutch
Did you see the look
contingent.
he gave me? Did you see the look he gave me?
And oddly enough, we have a colleague of ours is coming back from Amsterdam tonight on the plane.
Yeah,
Let's hope he's brought Ben back something nice.
he's flying back.
But the thing is, as well, it's like we're losing our thread here. But it's like, but Ben's right. I mean, Ernie Swat come out and said last week that Isak's going to be out for a long, long time. So we're not going to see him anytime soon. So basically now you're down to one striker. And I agree with you, Alric, completely. 110%. Federico Chiesa won't be at Liverpool much longer. Now, apparently, Inter Milan are after him. They want him. They're interested. But apparently, Liverpool are saying they're not willing to let him leave in January because Spalletti he's going to ask Chiesa, is he interested in playing for Italy in the World Cup? If the answer is yes from Chiesa, then Juventus are going to make a move for him, and they want to take him back on a 6-month loan. I don't think Liverpool will let him leave, but why keep a player you don't want to intend to play? I don't get it.
Just to keep him for break glass in case of emergency, just wasted 6 more months of his career. But the club that you're mentioning was Juve.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said Inter.
Sorry. Yeah. But I mean, you wouldn't treat a dog the way you're treating Federico Chiesa.
No. You treat a dog like this in the RSPCA, will be on your case.
Well, yeah. I mean, I love the bones of Chiesa, I really do. But the lad's on a hiding to nothing. He's like Harvey Elliott. You know, you're not going to see him in a Liverpool shirt again. And the Aston Villa don't want him. Where he's going to end up, God knows.
And that's what annoys me when because you mentioned Elliott, that they have decided he's not going to play anymore.
Yeah.
And then some Major League Soccer Farmers League wanted him, and he says that ain't happening.
Yeah.
And then Liverpool hashtag Slot comes out and said, we don't want him. I mean, we're struggling like shit. We have many injuries. He is creative. He plays with his heart on his sleeve, and you don't want that.
No.
I just can't understand it.
I said this. I can understand why Slot doesn't want Elliott back. Elliott's not Liverpool level. Yeah, he's got the passion for it, but he's not got the ability to match it. And at the end of the day, passion isn't everything in football. We might want it because a lot of these players are seeming lazy right now, but
yeah, but if you have passion, you have guts, and when you have guts, you have you run, you try. I mean, do you know how many sports games around the world where people win just by effort and not skill?
Elliot runs, but he looks like he runs in mud.
No. He's not Dutch, so he's not running in mud. But but my point is, I like Elliot. I think he's a decent player. I don't think he's going to be an outstanding Liverpool player, but I think he's a decent player. And in my opinion, he should be brought back and given a fair chance. Now, he's not ever going to get a fair chance because of the dumbass coaching us. But the point is, Slot found a use for him. No, I'm sorry, Klopp found a use for him in certain situations, in certain games.
As a role player, he came on off the bench for most of it.
Yeah, but why can't he come on? Why can't he come on from the bench now, on the slot?
But when he was useful for Klopp, that was before like his big injury that he got at Leeds away. Ever since that injury, I don't think he's been on par. Like he's been a good bit piece player, but he's not the kind of player.
Yeah, but how are you going to get on par again if you don't play?
Because he's good enough. But the worst decision of it all was not encouraging someone like Dortmund or Leipzig to pursue him harder. They should have gone for him, and we should have encouraged them.
Going for
Elliot, Dortmund, or Leipzig, one of those two clubs. We should have encouraged them to come for Elliot. He would have flourished in the Bundesliga, a slow, spacious league with minimal physicality. Perfect for him.
After his injury, as you say, I haven't seen enough of him to say he's finished. I'm sorry. How old is he? 21?
24.
Yeah, 24.
Is it 24? Yeah. Still, I don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see it.
I mean, the only thing I can say in fairness to Harvey Elliott, he's not a Liverpool player, but he'll give you 100% guaranteed. You can't knock him for that. But he's not a game changer either. He's not going to come on and change the game for you.
No, but you don't have anyone who can change the game now. And by the way, he's 22.
No, we don't.
But
no, we don't. We don't.
But my point is, like the game yesterday, where we struggle against a low block. You have to have pace, you have to have movement, you have to have precision. And when Chiesa came in and when Rio came in, you got two of those two things.
Rio was good yesterday. Rio was good when he came on yesterday.
Yeah, but
he was only on for 15 minutes.
You need players to move around. You need pace. You need players to move, to try and do something, like Rio, like Chiesa, and like Elliot. He's not going to be Messi.
But the thing is, if you're a defender, the last thing you want to come up against is somebody with pace.
Exactly.
Right? Because, okay, I mean, we've got a player who's away at the AFCON at the minute. He's lost his pace. His pace is gone. He can't beat a man now, for sure. Right? Chiesa
he can't beat you, Craig.
Chiesa can. Rio Ungamo can. Rio Ungamo came on for 15 minutes and he was the best player on the park for us. And if you look at that midfield, it was disappointing again. McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch. They didn't do anything.
I think Grav was good in defensive work.
He's been terrible on the ball.
Going forward,
Gravenberch's strength have never been going forward.
But yesterday I felt that he was the defensive midfielder he was last year. He kind of tore up the little that game. He won the ball. He still can't pass the ball, but that's someone else's job, and they were shit at it as well.
Yesterday was Szoboszlai's game.
Well, apparently, while you're talking about Gravenberch, apparently Liverpool are opening talks on a new contract, and he's still got 2 years left to run. So that's a good sign that they want to tie him down. But obviously, going back to what Ben was saying there with Barcola from PSG, I've been looking at the players we've been linked with. Barcola from PSG. They're also. I've been reading. I've read this a couple of times now, and it's not going away. Liverpool are prepared to spend 80 million on Bastoni from Inter Milan. That sort of that made me raise my eyebrows a little bit. Now, obviously, if Liverpool are willing to splash 80 million on a 26-year-old centre half, who I don't think is too old anyhow, but because it's looking like Liverpool are not going to bring in Mark Gay until the summer, unless Liverpool pull the trigger. I still think we need two centre backs. I'd go for Slotterbeck and Gay myself, but I mean I don't know what your thoughts are on the link with Bastoni, and also we're linked with obviously Mr. Barcola from PSG, and then we've signed a 17. Just before we came on stream, Liverpool have signed a 17-year-old from Austria tonight, who's going to be playing for the under-21s. Fantastic. I don't know what you make about that, Ben, but I'd be interested.
Well, actually, before I came on, I saw some clips and some stats. Yeah, no stats, Stephen. Yeah. He actually looked. Yes, the Austrian kid actually looks pretty good. Like he's got great anticipation, and he knows how to use his height, which is crucial. Because there's so many top players in football right now that do not know how to use their 6'4" selves, like Gakpo, for example. Or Kanate. It's crazy. You've got all these lanky players that don't know how to use the height.
Is that 6'4" with or without the hair? Because that's a big rug on the top of his head.
I'd say it's with the hair. I think with the hair he's 6'7".
I thought it was his. I thought it was a twin brother from the lad in Manchester who's not had his haircut until United win 5 games in a row.
I just gotta show you this, guys.
The Bastoni links are to rubbish, by the way.
So that again.
Let me now.
You don't rate Bastoni?
No, the link. It's rubbish. The only club that's going to get him out of the only club that's going to get him out of Inter is Real Madrid, or maybe Barca.
Well,
he's not going to want to leave Milan for Liverpool. No offense to the city of Liverpool, but the city of Milan is naturally just a lot better, and it's got better weather. So you're only going to want to leave. You're only going to want to leave.
There's nothing wrong with Italy. Trust me. I'm seriously considering flying over a day just for a pizza.
I just want to share something here with you guys. Do you see the picture of him there?
No.
You see this picture of him? I see it here on my screen. Why don't I?
I think it's pretty good.
Can you see the web page I'm trying to share with you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. If you look closely on that face, remove the hair and make him white. Who does it look like? Slot. I think it looks like Slot.
Do you think so?
I said if you remove some of the hair, he looks like Serge Gnabry.
Maybe. I especially the eyes. I think especially the eyes looks like Slot. But that's just me. I just thought it was funny. But yeah.
So, my question to you both then, obviously the transfer window's open now. Do you honestly think that, do you both honestly think or believe that Liverpool will do any business in this window or not?
I don't. I think the club will be a lot of people within like FSG will be very unhappy that we're not performing, and that top four is potentially a doubt after a 450 million outlay, and they'll want to hang him out to dry to see if he's really got the minerals to continue being the manager. I can't see a scenario where Slot is kind of taught to like mutually part ways because it's what it'll be best for him in the summer, and let us move on.
Like I said to
I agree. I agree completely. I think the summer we had was phase one in the team rebuild. That's needed to be done anyway because we have a lot of aging players. And phase two of that is going to be in the summer that's coming now. And I also I totally agree with Ben. He took the words out of my mouth. I think whatever potential things we might have looked at this summer, this window, I think it's been put on hold due to they don't want to invest even more millions into a manager they're starting to question.
no,
That would
well,
it doesn't make sense for them to do it.
no, well, I said before we came live on air, I said to you, didn't I? My gut feeling now is Ben is that the only thing what will keep Ernie Slott's job is if the performances improve. It's obvious I think we'll qualify for the Champions League. That's obvious, and the only reason we'll finish in the top four is because the teams below us are worse than what we are. That's all.
And
But
because of his
I honestly think this is my gut instinct. I honestly believe that internally at the club now, they've already made the decision that he's going in the summer, and they'll bring somebody else in. I don't know what your thought is on that, but that's what I think will happen now.
I think that should happen. I think it's best for all. Clearly, this club's future isn't under Arne Slot, and clearly, Slot isn't the man for this job. So if Slot has any honour, he agrees to a mutual like parting of ways, and just goes on. Maybe takes the Dutch national job after Koeman, because I think he'd do well in national football.
Well,
In one of the chats I'm in, one said that. I mean, we can all talk about Slot out and everything like that, but there has to be a plan to get a manager in, and that is always easier to get the one you want after the season's gone. It's easier to get someone then than mid-season. And
this is the one. This is like one of the one summers where it's not going to be easier because of the World Cup, and so like one of our potential targets, Nagelsmann, won't be available till mid-July.
No, I understand that, but they're not available now anyway. So any national team manager won't change the job 6 months before the World Cup anyway. So they're not on the table anyway. But my point is, someone said that if Slot gets sacked, they would like to see Steven Gerrard have the interim job until the summer.
That's Craig's worst
Now,
nightmare.
I know you two guys are shaking your head and getting all fumey and all bent out of shape. I know, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I would like to see that. I could live with that. I'm sorry. I could live with him for 6 months as an interim job.
I don't think Craig could think of anything worse.
No, but I don't care about Craig.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah. But my point is, if he leaves now, if he gets sacked now after the Arsenal game, let's say whatever it is, if they say, well, this is it. If look what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did at United as an interim. I'm saying interim, not as a full-time manager, interim. If we can get a guy like that who knows the club, who that's why we got Kenny 2 or 3 times, because we needed someone who knew the club. And I think if we can get that, so we can get across the line, get the top 4, get whatever it is we can get this season, and then we have time to find the big one in the summer. Are you really thinking that it's a better option to continue 6 more months with this Slot football than to have 6 months with a man who has the utmost respect for everybody inside the club except Craig?
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, I could. The thing with Steven Gerrard, the only thing I will say in his defence, the one thing he will instill into the squad is passion and desire to play for that shirt and give everything you've got when you cross that white line. That's the only thing he will instill. I
Yeah,
don't,
but
I
that's
don't
what we
rate,
need.
I don't rate him as a manager at all. I mean, the thing is, uh, I'll ask you, okay, who's worse at the minute? Because my friend messaged me last night from Scotland. Now, apparently Celtic are looking at bringing Ange Postecoglou back, and I started laughing. Right now, who's worse, Liverpool or Celtic? They've got a guy
Celtic.
called Nancy who's manager there, and we've got Ernie Slot. Now, they're both shite, whichever way you look at it. Celtic are champions of Scotland, we're champions of England, and it's embarrassing, both north, south of the border. It's absolutely embarrassing, you know. And the thing is, it's all right saying, does Slot go? Does he stay? Or does he get more time? I don't believe they'll give him another contract. I really don't. I don't think he's earned it.
No.
But and the $1 million question is, who takes over? For me, there's only two candidates, and Nagelsmann's not one of them, because I don't rate him, and he's the manager of my favourite national football team. So I don't want, and I'm looking at how Germany are performing. I don't want him at Liverpool. So for me, there's only two. You've only got Inzaghi and Luis Enrique. But for me, the number one choice is Enrique from PSG. But he won't leave PSG either. So it's that question again. Be careful what you wish for. But I just think Arne Slot, he's run his course at Liverpool. It's just a matter of when the club pulled the
Who
trigger.
would you like, Ben, as a manager?
I've said, as a wild card shout on a short-term basis with the potential to be more short to mid-term. Going into next season, maybe wait until 2027 to try and go and get Enrique. This would actually be a good foundation going into Enrique's kind of football. Go and get Xavi Hernandez, who's a free agent. I think.
Who's that again?
Xavi Hernandez, former Barca manager.
Oh yeah, it means okay. I got thrown off by using the last name. Yeah.
I'd get Xavi. I mean, Spanish coaches are inherently the best coaches in football right now. I
Can't
think.
be worse than the Dutch, can they?
Well, I have issues with the Inzaghi guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I can live with I can live with Xavi for 6 months. I can live with that. But you have to have a plan.
That's what I was saying. Though, Xavi, you get him in 6 months. If he does well, you give him next season as well. If your long-term goal is someone like Enrique, whose contract is up in 2027, like I said, giving Xavi an extra year, let him lay the foundations, and then Enrique takes over and takes us to the moon, because it's a good transition. He's a good transitional manager into Enrique. Now, whether Xavi would accept such a role is a different question. I don't think he would, because obviously he's a good manager and he's a legend of the game. So he'll have an ego and he'll want to be the main guy. If he's coming to Liverpool,
but there is a saying: a great football player is a shitty coach, and the other way around.
Yeah.
It's not always the case, but it's
usually is the case.
Yeah, I think Xavi Hernandez is one of the few exceptions to this rule.
I mean,
why is he unemployed?
I don't know. I think he's waiting for a better job. He's got the ability. The guy won a league title with 18 clean sheets with a defense consisting of Eric Garcia and Ter Stegen. That's a good defensive coach. He has good
in a semi-shitty league where only two teams are good, like the French league.
Still,
so okay, so
this was terrible.
Okay, so the voice of reason. Yes,
That's
the voice of reason. So, if Liverpool part ways with Arne Slot, who do you
Well,
want to come in and who do you want to take over until you get the man you want? Who would you have in the hot seat, and why?
I like what Ben is thinking there with Savi. I didn't think about him, so I like that one. I would like to have him as an interim with an option for 1 year if he does a good job. So maybe that can, you can say, hey, we give you 6 months like a trial period, and if you do it, you have a clause that will at least give you another year. I would like to see him more than Steven Gerrard, but I still believe Steven Gerrard is an option if others fail.
Just to expand on that, then, if Steven Gerrard, let's say Steven Gerrard comes in as an interim manager, who's his number 2?
Fernando Torres or Dirk Kuyt.
Yes. Now you're talking sense, young man, Padawan.
Fernando Torres. Who was your second one then, Ben? Torres or who?
Kuyt.
He's just had a heart attack.
Has he?
Yeah.
Well, not him then.
But I still believe he's a better set piece coach than the one we had.
I'm a better set piece coach.
I mean, I'm sorry, but if Gerrard comes in and Torres is his assistant for 6 months, well,
I don't mind that. For 6 months, I ain't got a problem with that. As long as
I'm just talking until the summer. I'm not talking, man. I'm not talking like Gerrard's going to get the job full time.
As long as it's like, if someone comes to me and says it's guaranteed that Gerrard won't get the job permanently, but he will have the job until the summer, where we'll expand on our options and get a more elite level manager.
Yeah,
Torres is number 2. Sign me up for 6 months. I'll take it.
That's my pretense that it is only till the summer. That is my pretense, even if it's Savi or whoever it is. That is my pretense. I agree that Savi has a bigger potential to stay longer. I agree on that one, but I just thought about till the summer. And I would love to see Fernando Torres, El Nino, and that would be a wet dream seeing those two guys on the sidelines. Yes.
I mean, Craig might disagree with this, but I do think Gerrard would get some element of Anfield back.
Like, he would. I don't agree. I don't think he's good enough to manage a club of that standing. I mean, you've only got to look at what he did at Villa. Let's be honest here, guys.
But the point is, we went. I'm sorry, Craig, but I'm not listening to this. we did the same when we asked King Kenny to come back the last time. But he hadn't coached in 45 years or something. But he still stepped up to the plate and did as good as he could. Now,
I wouldn't even say Gerrard comes back in as like a proper coach. He just comes in, tells these players play with your heart and whatnot. That's all the coach has to do. Caretaker, just get these players in line, remind them what club they're playing for, and discipline them properly. Which I think is a soft touch.
There's one thing for sure. What the dressing room does need, they need to hear a different voice, because whatever he's saying, it's falling on deaf ears.
It's going in one ear and coming out the other.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry, Craig.
Yeah, well, look at the game. I can't remember which game it was now. I think it was Forest. Half time, they came out within 30 seconds. We were 2-0 down. Says it all to me, that.
The PSV game, we came out second half and conceded 3.
So either the players can't understand what he's trying to tell them, or the players don't listen to what he's trying to tell them. It's one of those two, and both are issue.
It's both, but even if it's one or the other, both are a problem, and it's a sign of a bad manager. Because if your point's not clear enough that these elite players look garbage under this management, then that's on you. Because this many good players, this many good players can't look this bad.
Right, I agree. Here's a question then: Is it is it a tactical thing, or is it a personnel thing, or is it a combination of the two?
It's a combination.
Tactical, and then personal. They're very close, but tactical is on top because of the things he's doing wrong, in my opinion. First of all, he's giving a set piece coach to a non-set piece coach. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to set up the team, prepare the team. So his tactical dispositions are abysmal.
Like I said, the personnel is the least of the problems. We've got so many good players on this team, but the fact that they all look like they've never met each other or they've never kicked a ball, that's systemic. That's a sign of the coach.
We look like a newly promoted team who bought 20 players in the summer.
We look like what everyone thought Forest were going to be in 2022.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing for me, which is gone as well, and I think you need it, and it's not there, is the trust. There's no trust there.
These players don't care about Slot.
No, they don't.
They couldn't care less if he's gone tomorrow. In fact, they'd probably be happier if he's gone.
No.
Especially
You've already had one player try and throw him under the bus before you went to AFCON, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you're saying, Ben, that he's lost the wardrobe?
I think he lost the dressing room a while ago. I didn't say much because I didn't want to sound like an odd one out.
I think he has.
But I think he's not had the dressing room for a while.
I agree.
It was evident after the United game in October.
Yeah.
You don't perform like that against United at Anfield and still keep the dressing room or have the dressing room. The dressing room was lost long ago.
I agree with you.
Any performances we've had since are either due to players just wanting to show up to the occasion, like Madrid. They showed up for that occasion, but it's like kind of hey, look, I've still got this, Madrid. If you want to come save me from this mess here, come sign me. I'm available. And then other games come down to we've just played against poor opposition, which, by the way, we've still not beat convincingly. So people
But it is one thing that when I lift my head up and try to see beyond my own nose, I see a lot of teams sort of struggling with the same things that we are struggling with when it comes to Portland. When we look at the games played last night,
3-0 nils. My God, that was terrible.
Everyone was a draw and only 2 goals scored, and even City didn't beat Sunderland. So it is a season where a lot of teams are underperforming, where a lot of teams are.
Yeah, but we're all like interrupted, but sorry about that. But like loads of those teams, like you can see what they're trying to do. They have a style of play. They have an identity. Sunderland look more like a Liverpool team than we do.
I agree. I agree that they look like what they're trying to do, like we talked about before. But even though we see teams like City and Arsenal sometimes, but they get a own goal here and there, so they win anyway. But a lot of teams struggle this year for some reason. I don't understand why. It is more people and more teams struggling than normally.
I do think it's down to the lack of quality in the top teams, but also because the lesser teams are getting better. People can say the quality of the league isn't that good, but I disagree. Because in no other league is 17th place in France able to just rock up to PSG, rotate and get a comfortable point.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah.
PSG, you can't rotate in this league properly. That's a problem.
Okay, now I have a question for you two guys.
Okay.
I said a while back that that Slot has until the Arsenal game to get things to turn around. Do you think that can be the last game? Do you think that can be a turning point, or do you still think he's going to sit until the summer no matter what?
We beat Arsenal, just papers over cracks.
Sorry?
If we beat Arsenal, it just papers over cracks because it'll just be one of those very cowardly away performances where we sit very deep in a block.
Yeah, but you think if we lose that one heavily, do you think that will be the final nail in the coffin?
No.
No.
So you think
Slot's job, in the very least, is safe until the summer.
No matter what.
I don't think he's gone till the end of the season.
The Salah situation saved him when he should have been sacked the other month, a month ago. And then these last few games where he's squeezed it over the line have saved him for the rest of the season. Albeit unconvincing wins, at the end of the day, it's still 3 points, so you can say, oh, well, look at this, he's winning games. But maybe when you had another signing, maybe it's better. It won't be, but you can use the hypothetical to cope about it. So at least until the end of the season, he's saved himself.
You know, I mean, we're sitting here, we're discussing Arnie Slaughton, should he stay or should he go or whatever. I mean, the thing is, there's another club who's also battling for the top four, and they've just parted company with their manager, Maresca, Chelsea. He's gone. Now, I think in the summer, there's going to be another big departure as well. I think Pep Guardiola leaves City in the summer. I think he's gone. And I think Maresca takes over at City. That's what I think. But I mean, I'm just glad that our owners will do the right thing at the right time. They don't panic. That's for sure. And you can bet your bottom dollar they'll do the due diligence and they'll appoint the right man. Now, who it is anybody? I don't know. I knew who I'd like, but
Can I say something on that Maresca thing? Yeah, because they say, "Oh, we parted ways mutually."
No, he was sacked.
We thank Maresca for his contribution. No, you don't. You definitely don't. You sacked the guy because he overstepped your boundaries. He tried to challenge you and your authority, and you did not like that. So you told him to do what? I'm not believing a word of that. Oh, we parted ways mutually. No.
Didn't he say that? Hasn't he come forward and said he's been talking talking about?
He fell off his chair.
No, that he wants to be a part of the Manchester City if and when the chance opens up.
Yeah. Oh, he's already. I think they're already sorting that out, aren't they? When Pep leaves after this season, Maresca takes over.
And now he's well rested when the summer comes because he's had a few months off.
They recharged his batteries and
exactly.
And he's because everybody's saying, "Oh well, get Jurgen back." Jurgen's not going back into club football. Don't worry about that. When you look at the pictures he's posting of himself, he looks 10 years younger.
Yeah.
Why would he go? Why would he go back into that job? There's only one job he's taking if he goes back into management, and that's the Germany job for me. But
with Pep as assistant, Guardiola.
Well, it won't be. It won't be the other Pep, will it?
No, it won't be.
The tactical genius what Jurgen had.
But I gotta go, my.
So okay, so we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you like, subscribe, and join Aura TV. And we'll see you again on the next one. When Brother Alred, you can host the next one for us, and you can decide what we're gonna argue about or discuss or make Ben fall off his chair. He's disappeared again. But until then, thanks for watching. Take care, guys, and we'll see you all soon. Take care.